Hello folks, in today's video we are going to see how to create or store secrets in your AWS parameter store. If you're not familiar with or if you're not aware of what is parameter store, I would highly recommend you to go ahead and watch my previous video on what is parameter store, and then you can continue from there. So in today's video, let us go ahead and get started with storing parameters. Here we are in the AWS console of CLI that I have already configured to access my account, and the command to create an parameter is AWS SSM put parameter, and then I'm going to give it as a name, and I'm just going to call it as Linux AMI, and then we need to give a value, and I'm going to give a dummy value for now so that we can add a correct value later. And then we also need to specify the type of this parameter that we are going to store. In this case, it is going to be string, which will be used by my CloudFormation templates or other scripts. I'm going to press enter, and if everything is stored fine, you will get a value as saying version 1. So how do I know that everything is stored fine? So I'm going to pull the parameter now, and how do I do that? It's something like get parameter followed by the name, and I'm just going to give the name here as Linux AMI, and we should be getting the values that we stored just now. So this is a simple string that we are storing now, but what if I want to store a password, for example, or an API key, for example? So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to say I'm going to put a parameter, I'm going to call it as API key, and I'm just going to say the value is something secret here, and then I'm going to say the type of the string is going to be secure string. That is what we want to store here, and the syntax for that is type, and then it's one word, secure, and then followed by string. So let's go ahead and press enter now, and you see that this value is also stored. Let us go ahead and get this parameter now. So when I do get parameter for this one, and I should not be getting the actual value itself, because if it's going to show here at my actual value, then the secret of that key is lost. So what Amazon is going to do is it is going to give me the encrypted key only, so that it does not get shared or publicly available to everybody who's going to get the parameter now. But if you want to actually see whether the key has been stored properly, or you want to know the actual value itself, we need to add a tag here, and I'm going to say it is going to be with decryption. And if I do this, Amazon is going to give me the actual string value of that parameter. So that is how you create a simple string value or a secure string into your parameter store. Now, the next thing that we are going to see is how to create an hierarchical tags. For example, let us create a database tag, and under that we will have Oracle databases, MySQL databases, and SQL databases. So I've written the syntax already. I'm just going to copy paste them now so that we can go ahead and see how they get built into the parameter store. So here we are going to create a hierarchy, something like my databases followed by Oracle, and then followed by my production instance password, and I'm just saying it is going to be a complex password here, and ensuring that my string is going to be secure string. I'm just going to press enter, so this value is going to be get stored. Likewise, I'm going to add a couple of more parameters into my hierarchy now. So I'm going to put in a couple of other databases and the passwords there, and let us see what happens now. So I'm just going to pull out all the parameters now. So the easiest way to do that is there is a command for pulling the hierarchical parameters that is called as get parameter by path. That is what we are going to do now. So we are going to say something like AWS SSM get parameter by path, and then we are going to give the full name of the parameter hierarchy that we want to follow. So let us say my database is here, and I'm just going to copy paste to save time here. And we should be able to get it if our syntax is right. Obviously I made a typo there, so let me go ahead and do that again. So I'm just going to correct the typo there. The key value should be path here. So let us go ahead and pull the value now. So let's go ahead and put in the path parameter for a hierarchical tag. the syntax looks something like this, which is AWS get parameter by path followed by the path of the parameter that you are looking to access. So in this case, we are going to access the MS SQL database password, and here we have the password with encryption. So if you want to encrypt, if you want to see the actual encrypted value, then you need to add the hyphen hyphen decrypt option as well. Then you will be able to see the actual text of that. So if you want to see the entire hierarchy, what you need to do is, I'm just going to add up to the DB and then add this tag called as hyphen hyphen recursive. That means that it is going to pull in the entire tree and all the parameters inside that tree and going to display me the value as a JSON field. Let us go ahead and do that now. And you can see here, it brings out all the values that are stored under this tree. So that is how you create parameters from your CLI. Let us go ahead and see where all these parameters are created in our GUI also now. So here we are in the EC2 dashboard. On the left hand side bottom corner, you can see the parameter store selected, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get started now, and we should be able to go ahead and fetch the values that we already have. And this is an older window. Let me go ahead and refresh the screen, and you see there all the values that we created from the command line are appearing here. So for example, if I go ahead and select the Linux AMI and see the value here, we have this ABCD1234. Likewise, if I go to the API key, by default the value of the key is not shown because it is a secure string, and if you want to actually see it, and only if I as an user has access to the KMS keys that is being used to encrypt these parameters, will be able to see that. For example, if I click on show now, it shows the actual secret, but if I logged in with another user ID, I will not be able to see this. I will be demonstrating this in a short while by logging in with another user ID, and then we'll go ahead and try to pull in the API key from that CLI mode and see whether I have access to that or not. So if you want to go ahead and add a tag here, all you have to do is go ahead and add a tag for your parameter and then call it anything you want, just like any other tags that you would add. So that is how you use parameters in your account. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to restrict access to your parameter store by using IAM policies and then pulling in the parameters with your command line with those specified IAM policies. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.